Welcome back, Math 30-1. Today we are going to learn about combining transformations. So as a little startup, I have a little exercise here and a little rule to kind of remember. Okay? So it says, for whenever we do transformations, we want to look at the order of operations. All right? Now, so this is the order we go for. Think of bed mass. We do brackets first. Then we do exponents. Well, in transformation so far, we haven't had really brackets. We haven't had exponents. Then we do division, okay, well, and multiplication. Well, division and multiplication, that is when we replace x with 2x, or x with 1 over 2, or y with 3y, or y with 1 over 3, something like that. There's a multiplication in there. So we're going to do stretches first. Now, reflections is multiplying by a -1. So that's kind of the same time too, but we're going to do that after. And then the last thing we do is translations. Why? Because we're replacing x with x subtract 3, or y with y plus 3, something like that. So there's an addition or subtraction there. So I could help you go through it as well. So we go stretches first, then reflections, then translations. It's kind of following the bid mass. Or another way to remember it is stinky, rotten tomatoes. So always do in order stinky, rotten tomatoes. Okay? So let's go and skip ahead all the way to our first class example. All right, so class example 1 says, describe the series of transformations required to transform graph A to B. So we want to get this graph A all the way to that graph B. So how do we do that? So first, we see, were there any stretches that took place? Well, I look at this, we go 1 and 1. From that point, 1 and 1. From this point, 1 and 1. So there are no stretches that took place. Okay? Next, it says, are there any reflections that take place? So we've done stinky, now we're on rotten. Reflections. Well, yes, there is. This is opening this way, and this one's opening this way. So there is a horizontal reflection. Right? So x got replaced with -x, and we have a reflection in the y-axis. Okay? Now the next part says, were there any translations? So that's the third thing we've got to look at, translations. Well, I look at that, my new graph should look something like this, right? But it's not, it's over here. So my vertex moved. It moved 1, 2, 3, 3 up. So we shifted 3 up, and 1, 2, and 2 left. Okay? So that is essentially what happened. So we described it. We had a reflection in the x-axis, we shifted 3 up and 2 left. So next one, it wants us to describe the transformations from A to B. All right. So first, were there any stretches? Well, here's A. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are no vertical stretches. Let's see if there's horizontal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 wide. Here we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wide. Therefore, there was a horizontal stretch. So we have horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. Okay, so horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. Now it says, now we have to look at, stretches are done, were there any reflections? Well, that's hard to tell, so we're going to skip reflections. Now next part is, if I have a horizontal stretch by a factor of 2, okay, so it's everything's doubled, we go like that, so we go like this, that would be my new shape kind of, right? Now, here is this point, and that point is there now. So what did we move? We want to know if there are any translations. So we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. So translate 7 down. 7 units down. And we translated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the left. Okay, so that's it. Next it says from graph A to graph C. All right? So let's see what happens here, how we get from graph A to C. Well, first of all, let's take a look at my vertical. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have a vertical stretch. Stretch by a factor of 2. And that's about the x-axis. Okay? Okay, this is about the y-axis. Forgot to put that in. All right? Now, we also look at this. So we have a stretch of a factor of 2. So everything's going to be doubled as like this. So this is my new shape after that. But now, we also have a shift. So let's take a look from this point here. Whoops, it's right there. And how many we shifted? Well, we went 1, 2. Because this point went to this point here. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we moved 6 left. Okay, so we shift. I'm just saying shift instead of translation. We have 6 units left, and we went 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units up. Okay? Now the last one says we want to go from graph B to C. So we went from graph B to graph C. So first of all, we know this is 8 and this is 4, right? So if that's 8 and that's 4, we have a horizontal. We have a horizontal stretch by a factor of 1/2. Okay, because we went from 8 to 4, so that's half the size. Now we also look at this, we have a vertical stretch, because we go from here, we go from 4 to 8. This one from 8 to 4. Vertical stretch. Oh, and this is about, okay, so we have a vertical stretch. Here, we're going to end up having, this is about the y, a vertical stretch by a factor of 2 about the x. Okay? So if I look at this, first we went half, so this goes in, right, like that. And then we doubled from here. So we would be down somewhere in here, and my shape would be something like that, right? Everything would be doubled in size. So everything's twice as far away. Now, I look at this, this has to be shifted up from this point to get to here. Well, we'd have to go, it's going to be, I believe, from 5. This is going to end up starting at 10. And then right here, this point all the way up here is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. So 10 to 8 is 18. So we shift up 18, okay, units. And if we go from here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, we shift and we have to go another 4 over. That's going to give us, because this point here is at 8, and we shift left 8 units. Okay? Now there's more than one way of solving this question here. I could have even have done a reflection of the line y is equal to x. So this would end up looking like that. My x points and y points would change, right? So this point would go, and that would end up causing us a different type of reflection if I reflected in that line there. Okay? And then we would have not as much as a translation. But you could try that one by yourself. Okay, let's take a look at example number 3. It says, describe which transformations are applied to the graphs when the following changes are made to the equation. Does the order in which the formations performed affect the final graph? All right, so here it says replace x with 3x, okay, and y with y plus 4. So this probably does matter, okay? The order will matter eventually. So we're going to replace x with 3x. So x is replaced with 3x. So let's first do that. We end up getting y is equal to, where is it? We're going to have f of 3x, okay? That's it. Then we replace y with y minus 4. So y subtract 4 is equal to f of 3x. Oops, y plus 4. So then, because y goes to y plus 4, we're replacing with that. So we end up getting y is equal to f of 3x, and we have to subtract 4. Well, let's see if we did it the other way first. Okay? So if I did it the other way first, we would have y plus 4 is equal to f of x, and then I get y is equal to f of x, subtract 4. Now we do the second one. Y is equal to f of 3x, and then we have to subtract 4. So in this case, it doesn't change. It doesn't matter which one we did first. Sometimes it will. Maybe this next one will. So first we're replacing x with 2 over 3x. So x gets replaced with 2 over 3x. Okay? Y gets replaced with negative 3y. And then later on, we do x gets replaced with x plus 2. So let's try this out. So first we have, let's plug this in, we get y is equal to, we're doing our stretches first, there's a stretch here, so I'm going to say negative 3y is equal to, and I'm going to have f of 2 over 3x. Okay, so my stretches are in, and I also put in my reflection. Okay, so then that's going to end up giving me y minus 1 over 3 f of 2 over 3x. Okay? Now it wants us to put in the x plus 2. So that gives me y is equal to negative 1 over 3 f of 2 over 3. And we have to put in an x plus 2 all together. All right? Now if I was to multiply that out, that is 1 over 3 f there, and then we have 2x over 3 plus 4 over 3. That's it. So if I was to simplify that, this is normally a good enough answer right here, but I just went a little bit farther. Now let's see if I changed the order and I did this step first. So if I did my translations first, let's check that out, see what happens. So that would be y is equal to f of x plus 2. Okay? Then I would do my stretches. So negative 3y is equal to f of, then here we'll have 2 over 3x plus 2. Now we end up getting negative, or y is equal to negative 1 over 3 f of x 2 over 3x plus 2. Well, I look at this is not the same as this, so these are different. So it's not always, different. So it's not always the same. That is why you must always go stretches, right? Stinkies, rotten tomatoes, stretches, reflections, translations. All right? So let's take a look at question number 4. Okay. So here we go. We have a graph. Okay? So this graph, the parabola is shown. The following transformations are applied and applied in the order shown. So first thing is we do a horizontal translation of 2 units left. So my graph, we have to move it 2 units left. 1, 2. There we go. So my new points, and then we have 2 is going to be, so it's there, And I'm just going to now go like that, and then like that. So there's my graph, okay? So this part's done. This is operation 1. Operation 2, reflection in the x-axis. So we want to reflect it in the x-axis. Here's my x-axis, so we're going to reflect. So we end up reflecting, and my graph now looks something like this. Okay, that's done. So this is number 2. Number 3 says a vertical stretch about the x-axis by a factor of 0.5. So everything gets shifted. And now, just quickly go 0.5. Okay, and 0.5, so that's there. This 5 comes to 2.5, which is around there. So now my graph looks something like that. Okay? And now the next one says a vertical translation of 3 units down. So we move each of these 3 units down. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm right there. So I'm at 3.5. This point moves 1, 2, 3. There. This point is going to have to move 1, 2, 3. So it's right there, and then right there. So my new graph looks something like this here. Sorry, I'm doing my best, and I'm going to do it in red. So that is my last graph. Now, for each transformation, graph the image and write the replacement of f of x in the current equation below. So first one, we want the replacement. So 2 units left. So x goes to x plus 2, right? So what do we end up getting when we move 2 units left? We end up with, here we go, y is equal to x plus 2 squared plus 1. Now it says a reflection in the x-axis. So my y's are getting switched. So y is replaced with negative y. So we get negative y is equal to x plus 2 squared plus 1. Then it says a vertical stretch by 0.5. So y gets replaced with 0.5 y. So I'm going to move this negative there. So I get 0.5 y is equal to negative x plus 2 squared plus 1. Then the last one says a vertical translation of 3 units down. So y gets transformed to y plus 3. Okay? So I'm moving this, multiply everything here by 2, multiply this by 2. So I end up getting now 2 units down, y plus 3 is equal to negative 2 x plus 2 squared. And then here we're going to have, negative, so this is negative 1 here. If I move that over, this becomes negative 1. So we have negative 2. Okay? And then we have to move it 3. Oh, by factor, whoopsie, sorry, I made a mistake here. This becomes 2. Sorry, with 2y. So that's 2. So this becomes 0.5. So this is 1 over 2. This is 1 over 2. Okay? So we multiply everything by 1 over 2, divided by 2. Okay, so that's what we end up doing. So now my new equation at the very end, sorry, we're off the screen. My new equation at the very end is y is equal to negative 1 over 2. Then we're going to have x plus 2 and squared, subtract, we have to move this there, 3.5. And that is my last equation. Okay? Hopefully you understand that. Good luck as you work on this tomorrow.